And let me just set up the Twitter stream. Start streaming. Cast. And let me look for Jacob's Twitter handle again. It's somewhere up here. Okay, found it. Path. Give me like 30 seconds, everyone. Then we can start broadcast, post. With that time, Jacob. Oops. Perfect. Post. All right, so we're live everywhere. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, basically what we were doing, let me just go back and kind of give like a little preview of what we were doing. So Jacob created this nice component that you can actually download or you can remix in the MagicPath community. It's like a drawing component where you can draw out an app, you can draw out a landing page, you can draw out a little components, and basically turn that into an actual UI, right? An actual, code. Sorry, I'm just multitasking. I just want to bring in the screen over here and kind of show you how it looks like. So if we go like this and we zoom in here, I'm actually going to post this in the Discord as well, or I did that already, I think. Yeah. So if we scroll over here, you can see that we have Jacob creating like different types of diagrams or sketches of interfaces, and then using MagicPath to actually finish off the design using AI, right? So that's kind of like the magic here. You, as a designer, you have the ability to, come up with a sketch, bring in little boxes together, even draw them out if you wanted to. You don't even need to use the boxes. You can draw them out. And then eventually bring that into the prompt, and then the AI understands everything fully and builds it out. And not only that, I mean, obviously, you get this nice design, and it's also responsive, and it's also real code, meaning that you can bring it into Cursor, and you can also add some interactivity, add different API keys and all of that. So also Jacob said, if you haven't, you might want to go copy it again because the new one has new functionality. Okay, I'll do that right now. And apart from that, in this video in LinkedIn, basically Jacob is also showing how you can leverage this new tool that he built to come up with like interactive components. And that's what we're going to be concentrating. That's what we're going to be focusing on today, basically building out or trying to, use this tool to build out different types of interactions. This is going to be the first time that I use it for that because this is, brand new. This is very fresh, obviously. So yeah, this is an example. As you can see, these are avatars, make them bounce and bump into each other and then move far away and then come back together in a loop. And basically he just gets he copies the SVG from this specific drawing that he made, pastes it in the prompt, and he also adds like a few extra phrases. He says like make this, right? And also like remove the colors, like the pink. And he also references like a little avatar component that he made before. So make this interaction and use @avatar as the avatar with the different images. And then eventually, if I just skip forward, you can see we get something like this, right? We get like that same movement that's going like from top right to the left and then to the side. So just very simple interactions. Let's go ahead and get started. So, and by the way, for those of you that want to test it out yourself, I'm looking at those on Discord, for example. We have or Jacob just shared the file. I'm going to do the same thing in Twitter and on YouTube so that everyone has the file there. So let me just see Twitter, copy. Let's go to my profile. Where are we? Where are we? Here we are. So copy, paste. here's a file that you can use. Everyone on Twitter and on YouTube, youtube.com, MagicPath. Let's look for the stream. I think we have it here live. Perfect. Let's open this. Mute myself. Amazing. And I'm going to drop this down in the chat. Copy the file and paste. And I'm going to paste the file over here as well. Paste it like so. And then this is great. So once you open this file, you're just going to click on copy file down here. So I'm just going to click on that. And now the file is yours, right? You can, do whatever you want. You can change things. You can interact with things. You can move things around, et cetera, et cetera. And what I always like to do, because I don't know, this is something that I just do from, straight from the beginning, is just renaming the file. So drawing space, I'm going to put streaming for today, since we're streaming right now. And so also, Jacob gave us some videos. And I think one of these, I think this is the one that we were just looking at, right, Jacob? The one that's on LinkedIn, how to use the drawing space tool. Let me just double check.
Yeah, those are the videos. You can delete them.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I would definitely check them out if you haven't done so. But these are like great little videos for you guys to like look at. Great, you can also see how he kind of how Jacob prompts, and it's a really good resource to start off with. Since I already watched them, I'm just going to delete them. And
yeah, that second one shows you like all the hotkeys and stuff that I can actually, maybe I can demo that really quick.
Okay.
It's like there's a bunch of stuff that like is not very documentable here.
Yeah, hold on. Let me first organize the stream so that you guys can watch everything. So I think Twitter can see this, but let me just make sure that YouTube can also see this. So stop presenting. 1 second, 1 second. Entire screen share. All right, now you can go.
There's just basically in this sketch that I did for a desktop app. Basically, I had drawn this this thing. This was going to be like a bounce for a desktop app, and then these are like images on this like right side column. And then when I click them, one should be like a larger active image, and then go back like when I deselect it. But
okay.
Just to show you kind of like the controls that you have available, there's a whole bunch of different tools down here. There's like the pen tool. You can draw stuff with this. And when you're in select mode, you can select multiple things and change like the line weights and stuff about them.
Mm-hmm.
You can also change the colors of everything. And you can delete things by either just doing this X or just like selecting and delete.
Oh, nice.
You can do like multi-selects, and if you hold Shift, when you're drawing stuff, it goes proportional. And then you can press either Escape or V to go back to the select tool at any time, just like any like normal like Adobe tool. And then for like the rounded rectangle tool, going back to V, there's this little like corner rounder thingy for doing the rounded corners for rounded rectangles. And then for circles, it's pretty self-explanatory. Circle, you can make a triangle. And these little green things are rotator indicators, and if you hold Shift, you can lock them to 90-degree increments.
Yeah.
And another thing is that you can multi-select, but you can also hold Alt or Option and click and drag to like duplicate on the fly, which is actually really, really cool for like making like if you're gonna like say like card or something, be like card, and cancel like this and just go. You want to make like a grid or something really quick.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also change like multiple properties about a thing, about multiple items. So like you select 2 items and like you need to make them like red and like the border be orange and maybe thicker, and you can do that. But yeah, that's basically everything that it does. I don't know what happens to you. Okay, it's broken. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything you do. Now, also this the base64 option is like if you wanted to send in like a drawing as base64 into like an API call, for example, for like ChatGPT has like base64 support, for example. I'll just show you that actually does work. It's hard to like know that it does work without actually going to like some. I copied that base64, decode it.
Mm-hmm.
You see that this is our actual image. So, you know, like OpenAI has a if you wanted to do, for example, this is how a lot of like normal, like if you did like a haiku generator or something from your camera feed, if you like translated like a canvas element on your in like your app somehow to base64 and sent to that API, it can interpret that without you actually having to upload that image that you took or something. So it's more of like a real-time way of communication, but you can also use it for like, you know, generating images and things like that. But it's just a more specialized version of that. But yeah, copying the SVG, you don't have to like select anything when you do this. You just copy SVG, it just copies the whole thing. You can also export a PNG or an SVG that way. But I think to do this, yeah, you have to open this up in a new tab for those to work, but you can copy these and that works. Yeah.
Amazing. Awesome. So, all right, let's go ahead and let me just minimize my screen over here. The full screen. And all right, so now that we got that nice little get started tutorial from Jacob, let's go ahead and try to build out a few things. So I'm going to delete this. And let's start off with like very simple types of components, maybe like a toggle, for example. So I have a few ideas in my head, and we're just going to get started step by step. So first thing that I want to do is like a toggle. So I'm going to get this rounded rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw it like this, select this, and I want it to be like with a black border, no fill. And let's see, I want this to be, how can I round the edges, Jacob? Sorry. Oh, was it like over here?
It's that little yellow dot.
Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, perfect. So this is what I wanted to do. So let's make it like a little toggle and maybe make something like this. Bring that up here. Make it like half the size of this original one, of the parent one, sorry. And let's turn this into a black color, no stroke. And let's put this over here on the left. Okay, so first thing that I want to test out is I want to do like states, right? So usually when you build out like an interactive component, you have like different states or different like variants of that component. So let's say that you have a toggle, and then when it's off, it's black like this. And then when it's on like this, it turns green, right? If I click on this, it turns green. So this is like the first thing that I want to test out. Let me open the chat because I see some people are writing stuff. Okay. So, so yeah, this is like the first thing that I want to test out. And the way that I want to test it out is I want to delete this one, and I want to first focus on the first state, copy this SVG, and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say build a toggle where the initial state looks like this, and we're going to paste this. And when the user clicks on the toggle, the state should look like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over here to the right and maybe turn this green. And just keep in mind, everyone, this is like my first time trying to do this, so let's just see how it works. We're going to press paste, and let's just copy this entire prompt, and let's submit this. So now, okay, it says got it, a toggle that slides right and changes to green when activated. So you can already see that the AI kind of understands what it has to build. So what I like to do, and fortunately I have a lot of credits, so I could do this. I just want to try to build out a few other options just to kind of see how this looks like. And I want to also combine this with themes, right? So we have these different themes. I have like really standard themes that have to do with like big companies like IBM or like MagicPath or Discord, for example. But I also have themes that are very funky, like this retro gaming one. So let's try it with this one. And we can also use like a theme and like a dark mode. So let's choose Discord, for example, and then we can just go at the end, say like dark mode. We're already starting to get certain things. Okay, this one seems to be working well. Seems to be some issue with the toggle. But again, we're just experimenting to see how we can do this. This one right now has been the best one. Let's just wait for the other ones to load. And let's just decrease the size of this. Decrease size of this component by 5x.
I would maybe communicate that SVG, the thing that you're sending in, is like a sketch and not like, shouldn't be like one of like the final state, because I think it will just straight up use the SVG. That's what it's doing right now.
Yeah, that's what I saw. So this is an SVG and it's not the final design.
Maybe just use the phrase sketch, because like I think that, yeah.
This is a sketch and it's not the final design. Well, this is a sketch of the prototype of the state, the components. Let's select all, copy, paste. All right, this is looking good. Fix something with Google Meet. State call. Right. Okay. All right, so now we get these. These are like the different ones. This would be like, there's something. Okay, it's turning into like a purple. And again, let's just try it. Let's just see how this one works out with this new prompt that we gave it. Okay, this is looking good. Now the movement is actually very nice. So that's a really good suggestion by Jacob. So let's go ahead and paste this in here and add this dark mode. And select this Discord theme, click on apply. And I want to like reduce the size by 5x. Oh, nice. I see some people already creating with the components. So we can, once these are ready, let's go ahead. Let's just test these out, and then we can open Anton's design that he just sent. I see Jacob laughing, so that's a good sign.
Always good.
Always good.
That's sick.
Okay. All right. So this is looking good. We just maybe have to adjust certain things with the spacing here. Let's go over here. Also adjust the spacing. All right, but it's getting better and better. That's for sure. Let's reduce the size of the component by 5x, and it might give us that extra spacing because maybe this is not completely centered. That might be a reason why. So let's go ahead and open Anton's design. I'm going to open it here so that everyone can see. Oh, wow. So, and I want to see the actual, yeah, let's see if we can open this image. Let me see if Discord, I can share my entire window. Entire screen, share screen. And now let's go like this and leave this. So this is the initial sketch from Anton. So we have 4 circles, and we have these arrows that indicate movement. And basically, it's like a unification, like we're seeing with those purple dots. Make these circles gooey with each other and get back to their previous position. Each time they should gooey in a different combination. Wow, amazing. This is so cool. Yeah, this is, we just started the stream, what, like 10, no, well, it feels like 10 minutes ago, but it's actually been more, but we just started the stream not less than an hour ago, and we're already getting amazing creations like this. So as you can see, the dots are, coming together in different types of movements and in different types of positions. And it looks like they are gooey, right? They're not like, they deform kind of. Let me actually share this in the Twitter as well so that the others can see. And let's do YouTube. And for those of you on Twitter and on YouTube today, there's not a lot of people on Twitter actually, but for those of you watching on Twitter and on YouTube, feel free to test it out. I have the file here in the comments, and you can test some designs out and send them my way, and I'll just share them over here. All right, so let's go. Let's close this. And hello, Pepe. How are you? Nice to meet you. All right, so we have these different toggles. This is like the Discord one. Again, like the spacing is a little bit off. So let's try to get the AI to align the spacing. Let's align the spacing of the, how would you call this? What's the correct term of this inner circle in the toggle? Is it like a selector? Let's align the padding, or let's center align the spacing of the interior of the toggle. Let's try something like that. And because there's some type of alignment issue. And while we do that, let's go ahead and I'm going to delete the ones that were kind of not pretty nice. Let's keep the ones that we like. This one I like too. This is like the initial step, our baby steps over here. This one was also part of that. Let's just delete it. This one is also good. Well, yeah, we can keep this one. All right, now it's getting aligned. That's looking great. So this was like the first wave. This is the second wave. This is the third wave. And already after we start practicing and seeing how, like the best practices of how to do this, it's getting better and better. We actually change the color, make it red. Just kidding. I'm gonna make it like light gray. And let's adjust the sizing over here. Okay, awesome, looking great. So this is a great way of coming up with different states of an interactive component. We just built out a very, very simple one, a toggle, right? But there's a bunch of other ones we have, for example, like drop downs, or we have, like a volume or like a video player, for example. So we can maybe sketch some things out. Maybe someone has like a interesting type of, I'm getting married this weekend. Let's design a way to invite guests on MagicPath. Let's think of, let's see if we can help Pepe with his wedding. And if we can come up with some type of hold on, let me see here. If we can come up with some type of interactive components that can work for his wedding invitations. What would you need? What's like a standard wedding invitation site? And congrats, Pepe, by the way. Some type of form, maybe a form with a drop down saying like, are you friends of Pepe or are you friends of Pepe's wife? And we can kind of come up with that. Maybe we can draw that out, because I haven't tried the drawing feature, honestly. I've only tried the shapes. So we can kind of draw something out, like a form. Oh man, I don't know if this is going to be a good idea. Image of the married couple somewhere in the design. Soon to be married. Okay, we can do that. Let's do it like this. Actually, it's much easier than with drawing because I don't have like a wake up tablet or something. So we're gonna get these different shapes. I'm gonna get this no fill and with a black stroke, like so. So this is gonna be the first input. This is gonna be the second input. Then we're gonna have a drop down. Let me make this smaller. We're gonna have a drop down underneath the first and last name inputs. And this drop down is going to be like, select, choose if you are Pepe's friend, Pepe's family, or his wife's friend or family. So, and beneath that, we can have a little button, let's put a nice red button that indicates love to submit the form. And on the right side, actually, before we do that, let's put like let's arrange this a little bit differently. Let's make a space over here for some comments. We can add like a placeholder text, and maybe we can do that. I tried this, is what MagicPath made, and it's very basic. Well, Pepe, that's why you are here, because this is where you learn the best practices of MagicPath. Because obviously, if you give it a very basic prompt, you're going to get a very basic output, right? That's what I always say. So that's why we do these streams, so that we can show you how to properly use MagicPath, exactly, and get the best out of it. So this, and by the way, Pepe, let me just share the link to this again, just in case you haven't opened it yet. But over here, you're going to get access to this file that I'm showing. And you're going to get access to this file, and you can do the same thing that I'm doing right now, which is just drawing out different things. And then we can just get this, for example, and put a nice little image over here on the right side. And let's represent this image with the blue color and no stroke. And now let's just select everything here. Let's make it centered like this. And let's start adding text. I'm going to put over here, first name, placeholder, and I'm going to do last name, placeholder, last name, placeholder. And then we're going to do like, how would we call this? Like extra or a writing space so that people can write their best wishes for the marriage. I don't know. Additional text. Let's just put additional text. And over here, what we're going to do is we're going to do drop down. Drop down. So first off, I'm going to draw this first state of the form. Right now, the drop down is going to probably be empty. And I'm going to draw a little circle over here. And this circle is going to represent like an arrow that allows you to, open the drop down or close the drop down. And then over here, we're just going to make this the submit form button. And let's go like this. And we want this to be like an image of a couple, of a romantic couple, let's say. Perfect. An image of a romantic couple, and we have our form. So now what we can do is the following. We're going to copy this SVG, and we have different colors that indicate different things. And I'm just going to double click over here on the right side, because that's how you create a new component. I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to move these to the side, or move these up here, and then bring this one over here. Oops, there we go. Something wrong happened. Here we go. So I'm going to move this over here. And it's gonna open the chat. And I'm gonna remove this Discord one. I'm gonna select, let's make it OpenAI style, an AI wedding, OpenAI wedding. So let's go ahead and let's say, let's create this form for my wedding. Let's create this form component or form section for my wedding. This is a sketch of how it should look like. And let's just fix our spelling over here. This is a sketch of how it should look like, space, paste. And now at the bottom, we can start saying blue should represent an image, red represents the primary button, and purple represents the arrow for the dropdown. And then as a final note, the drop down. As a final note, I'm going to say, do not use the blue, red, or purple in the final design. So now that we have that, I'm going to Command A, Command C, submit this, and let's just do this a couple more times just to kind of see how this is going to look like in different views. And we're going to also try it out without a theme, because I'm just curious, since I put that wedding keyword, how it's going to look like. So like this. Let's do the same thing over here. And let's wait for these guys to render. So we have 5 different forms. And eventually, let's see how it does it with the dropdown. Obviously, you can also ask the AI in the prompt, like, hey, for the dropdown, give me these different options. Give me friends of Pepe, family of Pepe, friends of wife, family of wife, etc. All right, so perfect. This is one example. Let's go ahead and fix, or let's change the view over here to be browser. Perfect. So we got this one. And let's also make this browser perfect. So we're getting this one as well. So it's creating exactly what we're asking for. And this one a browser. So these are all like this OpenAI style, which is like black and white. This one is more of like a random style that the AI generated for us. Obviously, we can fix the color if we wanted to. Like for example, over here, we can get this and make this not a linear gradient, but a solid gradient or solid color. Make this white and click on save. And now that actually looks much better. And we get this final one that even gives us a nice little heart. That's also very nice. So yeah, I'm honestly not a big fan of gradients. I prefer this to be like some type of image. And for example, if we wanted an image, I can go to like Midjourney and look for like a or let's put like a wedding couple. And yeah, let's say that this is Pepe and his wife. We can copy the image URL, or we can actually save the image. Let's save the image. Let's save the image, and then we go over here, and we replace this with this, I think it was, right? And then we get Pepe and his wife together forever. Oh, nice. And if you don't like that text, what you can do is you can also just delete this element and save it, for example. And what's also cool, I'm going to show you right now once this is done, is that I honestly don't like this yellow. I like the color of the heart. So what we can do is we can get the yellow, turn this into a solid, and get this little color picker from up here and select the pink and click on save. And if it's too pink, actually, that might be a thing. We can make it black. Looks very, very modern, very simple, and very much in your style, Mr. Pepe. So already from sketch to finished code, we already have 5 different options to choose from, right? So again, we just started off like this. Very, very simple in like a type of Excalidraw style where you just have shapes and text. And honestly, I prefer this type of style much more than something like Figma, because sometimes in Figma, you start doing something and then you get like too focused on a specific design of one thing, and then you don't really like finish off the whole thing. At least that's what happens with me. I like to do it like very simple, and then use an AI to kind of help me get my feet off the ground, if that makes sense. So, and then yeah, like let's say that this is your picture, Pepe. We can just eventually just go over here, select this, and change this to your picture. So I'm gonna just upload this one because I saved it. This is your image. Click on save, and then you can eventually just keep on doing this. So, like I said, Pepe, it's just important to really, when you're working with AI, and this is not only with MagicPath, but also with like ChatGPT or Claude or any type of AI that you might be dealing with, the quality of the prompt is very important. So if you give it enough information to understand exactly what you want to build, the 5th one, okay, you know what? I'll give you this design, and you can keep it. You can bring it into Cursor and actually use it for your wedding. So 5 are yours. Perfect. So yeah, building out different forms. And I actually wanted to see, we have this drop down. Okay, so here we have, for example, will you be attending? Still deciding. That's actually pretty cold. So, but you can change the context of regretfully attending. Oh wow, they even have that. That's crazy. Or regretfully declining. Regretfully declining to have. That's actually pretty cold to have that option in a I don't know. That's what I think. Anyways, you can change the drop down to be something else. Like maybe let's go ahead and try to do that. So this is the state 1. We have the 5 different variants of that state 1. So I'm gonna go ahead and select everything. And does the delete button work, Jacob? Okay, awesome. So the delete button works. So I can hit delete. Everything's gone, and we can go ahead and get this rounded rectangle, and we can think of how the drop down is going to look like whenever you click on the drop down. So I'm thinking, instead of having the things or the options be like underneath each other, we can have them on the sides. So we can have something like this, and let's actually select and make this no fill, make this a black outline, and then we can go like this and go like this, and like this, and let's actually get this guy to be like this, and then let's select all of these, and then the options are going to be the following. We have the first option, which is going to be Pepe's friend group, and then we're going to have Pepe's wife's friend group, and then we can put like family, right? Family. And then we can go like this, but make him centered. And then these can be like our selectors, right? These are 3 different ways to kind of select in the dropdown. So we're going to copy the SVG again, and then I'm going to go to the first one, and I'm going to use this Ask MagicPath. And again, all of these are just one shot of this last prompt, and you get all of these different like nice examples, right? And all different styles, different colorings, different layouts. So it's really, you have different shadows also. This one looks like the pictures are kind of popping out. Very nice for a wedding, I guess. So what we can do is we can go in here and we can open the chat. And I see that there's something. We can go to this one. Oh, this might be a bug actually. Maybe someone can report this. So somehow it's still building. Anyways, let's go to the first one and see if I click on this. Let's go ahead and say, let's say, all right, well, we have to wait for this actually. Yeah, that has been happening to me. You should still be able to submit. Okay, let's use one of these. Let's actually go like this and change something. And click on save. And let's go and let's see, it's open. Okay, let's use this one as MagicPath. Oh, somehow I can't, but let's just do it on another one, just to give an example. So, anyways, I like these more. So let's go ahead and ask MagicPath, and let's say when the user clicks on the dropdown, they should see selectors that look like this sketch, right? Very simple. And then we just paste that SVG, and then we can click on submit. But before we do that, I'm just going to select everything and copy it, just so that we can try it out with this one as well. And paste it. When the user clicks on the dropdown, there should be selectors that look like this sketch. Click on copy and submit, and let's see how this eventually looks like. Let's see if there are new comments anywhere. YouTube. Okay. Let's see. Oh, cool. And then after this, what I want to try also with this tool is doing like sketches, like with drawings. I just saw one example of Jacob drawing like a graph with 2 lines, and it eventually created like a UI, like a little graph component with 2 lines on a line graph. So we can try something like that as well. So let's see. We get, okay, look, Pepe, look, we get your 3 different options. We get Pepe's friends group, Pepe's wife's friend group, and family. So, and in the same style that we have here, which is like this nice, cute little pink style. Your wife chose it, I guess, right? Where you drop down and you have this nice little pink style in her liking. So she's gonna love it. So you should send it to her. Let's see this one. I guess this is more of Pepe style, yeah, more of a yellow. Cool. And again, if you don't like the yellow, you can ask the AI to change it to more of like a dark tone, like black, gray-ish type of style, like the button. So again, let me just share this latest version with you, Pepe, so you can work on that. Okay. So that's that. I think this is really cool. Really cool progress. We started off with a very simple toggle. Then we came up with interactive. We came up with forms where we have very simple drop down selections or drop down options, and we don't really want something like that. We want something more unique in our style. So we drew it out and we copied that drawing and we brought it into the prompt, and we get something exactly like our concept. So just another way, way of getting drawing to actual finished code with MagicPath. This is like MagicPath's forte, right? That's why it's called MagicPath. So now let's go ahead and let's try something new. So I'm going to leave these components up here, add some extra space, and I'm going to bring this drawing space, this magical drawing space down here, and we are going to open up a new component. And this new component, so again, we were doing these toggles. We did the first state, we did the second state now, and then we did the form. And now what we're going to do is we're going to test out the drawing tool. And guys, please bear with me. I do consider myself a good drawer, but not with my trackpad. So let's try and do my best here. And if you guys have any ideas of what I can draw, I'm thinking maybe like a bar graph. Let's avoid circles. Let's do lines and rectangles, and we can combine some text. Maybe we can do something with movement. Maybe like some type of tracking app for like a bike rider, and there's like a map that moves up and down. I don't know. You guys are all designers, so if you have any good types of ideas, please share them my way. And also Twitter and YouTube, I'm here. I'm looking at you guys. You're not forgotten. So you guys can also chat with me. And if you don't want to do it over here via Twitter or YouTube, you can always join our Discord and join the call. We have like a call here with like 10 other people, and you can always unmute yourself and talk with us. So this is what Jacob just sent us. This is an example. We have drawing space degrees Celsius, and we have like a very, very simple y-axis and x-axis, and we have the two different squiggly lines over here, and they represent different cities and time and degrees Celsius. So, and actually MagicPath actually digested this information and did it in a very smart way, where it brought this over here to the side. It color coded the two cities, San Francisco being blue, New York City being red. So this is actually like a great example of something that we can do right now. So if you all have any type of idea, let's think. Thinking it further, people who want to join my wedding event, we can show them the venue and date time. Yeah, for sure. You have the file, Pepe. You can go ahead and try to do that, because now you have the knowledge of how to properly prompt in MagicPath. So I'm very excited to see if you're actually going to use this for your wedding. If you do, like, you should make a little video on it and put it on YouTube. It would be nice. So yeah, still thinking, what can we do? So when I tried scribbling the text instead, this was the first shot, which I kind of liked, but was not the goal. Let's see this.
It's so
Oh,
funny.
wow.
It literally just animates the thing.
Oh, it like got your sketch. Like it literally created your sketch and like animated it.
Like if I was like making like a notepad like interaction for like a documentary site or something, this would be like nice. You'd be like, yes, this is how we drew the map. Or
crazy. But then you had to just specify that it's just a sketch and to not take it literal.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think if this would have worked if you had exported that as an image and gave it to MagicPath.
Okay.
But I think since SVG, it doesn't have like any context. So
yes. Okay.
I would experiment too with uploading it as images, but you'd have to open the drawing tool in like a new tab to export the things as image.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I really like what Anton did as well, like doing some type of animation. So I really want to use the sketch thing. I'm just a little bit scared because of my trackpad skills, but let's think of something that we can do. Maybe let's think of graphs. Let's think of, oh, I remember I was talking to Justin yesterday about 8 sleep. Maybe like some sleep tracking graph with like bars and the time and like sleep quality. Maybe something like that. Let's do like a, whoa, even the line is hard to do. Let's try my best. All right, that was good. Okay, and let's do this one. And let's do like little bars like this. And great sleep quality at the end, but then you have to wake up. and then you get bad sleep quality, something like that. And then here would be the time. So like drawing time. And then here would be the, we can just write like sleep. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna write it down like this. I'm just gonna get the text tool and do that because that's much easier. So sleep quality. Also, duplicating would be nice too. I will add a hold shift and draw. Okay, so you're talking about like the different functions. Yeah, I think yeah, the straight line thing would be helpful. I think undo and redo would be helpful as well. And duplicating we have already. I mean, you can just like alt select something and like alt and like drag it like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, even if you multi-select, if you click and drag to select, you can hold Alt or Option and then click and drag, and it'll duplicate the thing.
Yeah. It would be good to adjust the text size, I'd say. Like make some text smaller than others. And that's just you know, something that I was thinking about. So we got sleep quality, we got our little graph, we got time. Let's make let's add some colors. Let's make like good sleep quality blue and bad sleep quality red. So this will get something like this colored in like this. Let's see if it would understand. I think it does. I have a good feeling that it will understand. And this would be like red, red. This is also like red. This would be like orange. So let's go ahead and select this. Oh, can we change the color? Oh, no, we can't. Okay. So I'm gonna have to do this.
Well, no, you can.
Of the pen? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Then let me do
My
it again.
bad.
No problem, no problem. Let's just do it again. So we're doing the colors now just to like show you how you can like the difference between the different bars. So let's just make these, doesn't really matter. Let's make this red. Let's make this 12 pixel. This one would be orange. This one would be red as well. This one would be yellow. All right. This one would be blue. I don't want it to be green. I think blue would look cool. So let's do blue. And then this one is going to be red. 12 pixel red. Okay, perfect. So sleep quality, time, start off pretty poor. And then at the end, you have like great sleep. And then you wake up when it's bad sleep. Like it's almost wake up time. You know, just some random stuff. Let's maybe move this a little bit closer like this. And maybe let's do something with arrows to kind of indicate the animation direction. Maybe the animation can start from the left to right, from like the past to the future. So we can do like some type of arrow like this. And then we can get this text and say animation direction should go from left to right to indicate animating bar graph from past to present. So I think this is good for now. Are we missing certain things? I don't know, but at least for this demo, this is pretty good. So let's copy this SVG. Again, everyone, I'm just clicking on copy SVG. And over here, we created our component. And let's say I want to create a sleep quality graph component based on the following sketch, right? Click on paste. And then this is a pretty long SVG because it has just a lot of like different points. So let's click on Shift Enter and let's say the blue should indicate good sleep quality. The yellow and orange should indicate okay sleep quality, and red should indicate poor sleep quality. And let's try it out like this. Let's just copy, Shift A, copy, paste this in like that. And let's see, okay, it's starting. And then we can probably use different types of themes here. I really like this Hulk one, so we can try with this one as well. And we can try with this IBM carbon, and maybe with another one. IBM, and we have. Let's do this orange one maybe. Tangerine. So a bunch of different styles. Oh, Jacob left. I didn't even notice. And so cool, cool, cool. Right, so let's just wait for these to load. And another way of doing this, obviously, is like just getting this, and you can do the same thing, but instead of adding the SVG, you can just add the, okay, so something here went off. Let's do browser. Yeah, so we have to see. I think that a problem might be the scribbles, but let's just see how the other ones kind of build out. And if this is going to be a problem with the scribbles, then we're going to have to delete them. Okay, we get this one with the line graph. We get this one with the line graph. Let's convert them into bar graphs. Let's convert this into a bar graph. Let's convert this into a bar graph. Do the same thing over here. All right. And what I want to do is I maybe want to just, it got the animation correct, which was interesting. Let's delete these. And let's copy this SVG. And let's go ahead here and say, let's remove this. Let's create a sleep quality bar graph component based on the following sketch. Cool, so now we're getting bars. Okay, that's a good step. All right, this one is not looking so great. This one is looking really good. So let's go ahead and delete this one, and focus on this one. Interesting. And then we can eventually say like, all right, for each time, there should be only one bar, not 4. And let's just wait for this one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stop the stream on X and on YouTube. And you can stick around on Discord for a few other minutes for some additional questions. And by the way, to everyone that's watching, every Friday we do design challenges. And this Friday, we're going to do a design challenge with this specific tool that Jacob made. So basically, you have to like draw something out, build out like a form like this. And I think showing the process is pretty important. So if you can take a screenshot of your creation and then show us like the final step, that would be really cool. But yeah, basically we do every Friday design challenges. If you haven't signed up yet, feel free to join our Discord. Send me your email so I can add you to the list, and we're going to give you 20 credits for the day, so you can use those 20 credits for the design challenge. And basically, once that's done, on every Monday we announce the winners of that previous design challenge, and the winner gets 200 credits, by the way. So yeah. So yeah, we get this one, and eventually, I mean, we can keep on iterating and understand that I actually like this style a lot, and we would just have to say, like, adjust the, make Tuesday like a really good sleep quality day, or Thursday, sorry, makes Thursday's good sleep quality day, make Friday like a poor sleep quality day, and so on and so forth. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this quick little tutorial or live guide of this drawing space component. It's very useful to go from diagrams or sketches to finished AI designs. And if you join late, obviously you can just rewind and look how we and watch how we build stuff like this from scratch using just drawing. So without further ado, goodbye Twitter. So I'm gonna say goodbye to Twitter first. Hope you all have a wonderful day, Twitter, and stop presenting. Goodbye YouTube as well. Stop streaming. Boom. And stop streaming.